This video I have another video camera. It was only $10 and I couldn't help myself. Where do you get a little mini CRT for $10 other than something like this? But yeah, the solder's broken. And what have we got? Have we got some clips missing or something? 2 clips used to go there, yeah, and 2 there by the look of it. Oh, that's the metal clips go in that bit. Oh, maybe it just needs to slide back on. You've probably got to eject it. I wonder if someone forced the tape out of this or something. That's probably what's going on. So the mech's in place. Oh, it's even got a battery in it. Is that the correct battery? Oh yeah. I bet that's not much good anymore. NiCad. Yeah, it's a genuine Hitachi 6 volt 1200 milliamp. We should just have a couple of connectors. Does it say which? Oh yeah, positive. I'm going to hook that up to the power supply and see if it draws like many amps or something, which is most likely the case. It'll probably be full of dendrites and basically short it out. Oh yeah, 5 amps. Let's turn the volt. Oh, it's going down already. I was going to turn the voltage down. Now it's dropping rapidly. Only 2 amps now and falling. That might actually have some life in that. I'm getting down to about half an amp. Ooh, I can hear something. Almost felt like something was moving in there. But you can turn the voltage down. It's sitting about 250 milliamps. Might be a bit high. Let's see if we can get it down to about 100 or so, which is still a reasonable amount. Turn the voltage down and we'll see if I can get that charged at all. What are these springs for? Did you actually fit normal batteries? What does it say there? Oh, here we go. Size AA batteries. LR6s. Use only alkaline. So that's an interesting design. Oh, you see, you lift these up. These are the actual battery holders. So you could actually power this off 6 AA batteries if you got stuck. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's actually labelled which is positive and negative on the power in. And we've got tape all over the front. And we've got something loose in there. I hope that's not a screw. Hopefully it's just a bit of broken plastic or something. Is it going to come out? I doubt it. How does this work? Oh, it's got like a fold-up design and a little... Oh, that's pretty cool. So it would have been someone's pride and joy once upon a time. I don't think the ejector will work. Usually they're motor controlled. Instant zoom, CCD. Looks a bit like probably a 90s camera. I guess it's a bit too small to be a 80s one. So another nice little mechanism in there. Let's see if I can get 6 volts into it. Do I have some adapters for those things somewhere? I think you can actually buy these off eBay, these sets of these things, which is very handy. You used to have to buy like a power pack that came with them, but someone's made it so you can buy them separately. We have to find out which one's the barrel, which one's the tip. Barrel's the easiest one to touch. So the one closest to it should be the negative. Oh, what's our battery doing? It's still charging. That might actually be an alright battery. But we have to pinch the power supply, negative, barrel. Let's see if we can get any life out of this thing. Oh yeah, camera made some sort of noise and then stopped. Oh, we ejected. I don't see any viewfinder though. Let's go to camera mode. Of course, the one thing that I want to run is not running. Let's see if we've got any camera output. Definitely don't have a lens cap. No, it doesn't seem to do a thing. I'll better at least get the CRT out of it. Because I think this thing's got a power issue or something. Yeah, got a little plastic bit on the end of it. Yeah, how do we... Oh, this slides out or something. Is that the idea? The whole unit... That's a bit of a strange design. Yeah, it's not the usual split open... Yeah, CRT's starting to... Oh, here we come. Oh, wow, what a weird design. Better make sure we've got no power on this thing. Which I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but have we got enough wire to get this board free? Yeah, see, I think we can pull like that plug. Oh, that's it. Oh, cool. Now we're going to work out what's what in this thing. But that's it. Tiny little CRT again. Let's compare it to our Sanyo. Did I lie about that being the world's smallest CRT? Because this one could be slightly smaller. They're very similar though. Well, they'll call them the same size. But that Hitachi, unless it could be the black plastic around it, is making it look smaller than it is or something. But this comes in a nice little round surround. Anything labelled there? Of course it's not. Pretty similar design to the other one. We've got something for a 100 ohm resistor into the chip. I've got a big line goes under the chip, a couple of plated through holes, which go to what? Who knows? That resistor maybe? Oh, it's just a link. Might even see if I can find a manual for this thing to find out which pin's which, although, well, we're not going to find much because this thing doesn't turn on. Doesn't have any video out, so I'm guessing we've lost the voltage to the CCD as well as the video, the camera section as well as this section. Guess we can try and find a voltage there because we at least know our negative going in. But it's possible we've got a faulty display. Can we even connect to these things? Hook that end onto the power supply might make it easier. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, and no surprise there, nothing. Although we're off now, aren't we? That doesn't help. Yeah, this thing's dead. I wonder if there's a fuse or something, although it's not completely dead. Well, what we should be able to do is one of these should connect to ground. We can at least get that one. Second one in, so the first, the brown next to the yellow. Well, that's one down. Brown next to yellow, which goes into where? So go that way around, I think. Yeah, that's how it plugs in. So the second one here, which goes to some little links, that is ground. I could probably cut that little bit of wire off. But I guess we could dismantle a bit of this camera for the hell of it. since it's not much good for anything else, I'll put that battery back on charge. Which end's which? But that'll probably just end up in the battery recycling, I think. Not sure what the best way is to pull this thing apart, but it probably just splits in half like most of them. But I don't fancy trying to repair this thing. It's not really worth anything even running. And they're often full of dodgy caps and stuff, so not really worth your time. Let's see, what are we getting apart here, if anything? Nothing, basically. With a bit of pulling, it's starting to come apart. Does this bit come out somehow? It looks like something that should. We've taken that screw out of there, so what is that? Does that release this thing? They're never easy to disassemble, that's for sure. But half of it is knowing which half is actually meant to come off. That's where a manual is useful. Okay, all sorts of loose stuff in there. So maybe do I have to take something with this lens off? I wouldn't have thought so, but sometimes it holds, or just about everything holds the two halves together one way or another. Oh, okay, oh yeah, so there you go. I bet there's a split. Yeah, the case split. Oh, there's another, is that ring got to come off? Feels like it does, yeah. Yeah, now we're starting to split. Split goes in there, then what's all this? Oh, there you go, that comes off. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. And the viewfinder's actually somewhat holding it together, I think. Is this one of these ones we have to pop the viewfinder out? And this lot, oh, there's another, I missed a screw or two here probably. That never helps. I don't know if I have to get this other one, but oh, there's another screw or two here. Sometimes you don't want to take them all out, but that one's a bit corroded, so that's not a good sign. And that's the other issue with these things, they're often full of all sorts of, or can be full of all sorts of dirt and sand and stuff, which is a whole lot of other issues. Well, oh, there, it's finally come off. I thought that bit would come off somehow. Don't ask me how I did it. Oh, that's why this bit's held together, because there's a screw there. Is there another screw I'm missing? What's under here? There's bound to be something hiding somewhere. No. What's this thing? A battery or something? That's another wonder of modern technology. There's a memory battery in there. Might as well get that out regardless. Well, I can't see any more screws, so was there something here? What does that one do? That holds the mech in, I think. I don't think that stops this. But there is something right around these, oh, it's this socket. Do I have to unscrew that? I wonder if you do. Oh, actually, yeah, looking at it, I thought that was a separate piece, but it's not. I think this is just a moulding that's part of the case. So that socket must have to drop or stay in there. Ah, that was it. Oh, there's our viewfinder connector. Got one of these horrible little slide out ones. And I think most of the bits of these are probably all the bits of the door that are broken. So that's what was rattling around in there, I think. So where do we go from here? That is always the problem. why does the mech run? We've got some of our voltages. Quite a neat little camera, not a lot in this one, so this is probably getting into the later 90s maybe. Let's remove that. Yeah, that's a like second generation service mount, I think. Very small pins on it. Can't believe people used to try and fix this stuff at component level. I can't see anything obvious. But most of them just had a battery fuse and that was about it, I think. If it's not going beyond that, hard to know what your issue is. I don't think there's anything I'm doing wrong to stop it firing up. What have we got here? We've got our... Oh, now we can take that out potentially. Or do we undo those? Oh, there's a metal... Yeah, you take that metal piece off and that housing drops out. Got our record button. I think there's fuses on there. Where's... Oh yeah, because this is our battery. Battery goes onto this little board. What is that thing? There's an... Oh, that's the actual on-off switch. Do we need to free that up? I think we might have to take this viewfinder off. Regardless of whether we want to. So if there's more than one fuse, maybe it's popped one fuse and not the other or something silly. Does that piece just drop out? I think it's kind of stuck in there. Or do I need to jiggle it the right way? Don't like metal bits floating around, so that's... Where'd that screw go? That's all our viewfinder parts. And I think this has to... How the hell is that a screw in there? Oh yeah, there is a tiny screw. Keep the screw with that. Now if I can get this board out. Does it just pull out? I think we've got to unscrew the whole battery compartment. I've got another wire to something there. What is that? Oh, is that a hot shoe type? These wouldn't have a hot shoe thing, would they? Flash type thing, I don't know what that's for. Looks like a hot shoe type connector on a normal still camera. Ah, well I still didn't get that loose. But at least we can see what we're dealing with. What else we got here? Oh, it's the DC power socket, which is I think screwed on. Yeah, let's pull this brown wire. Oh, well that's nothing. I thought that was going to be our battery thing. That must be this other two wires. Okay, let's get that out of our way. We'll just leave that there. For camera pulled apart later. Yeah, so those two white things. I doubt it's going to be that simple. No, they're both fine. 125 volt, 1.6 amp. What's this little switch thing? No idea. Is that a reset switch or something? So, no. It's further in, which will be these bits and pieces here, I guess. Oh, I'll see if I can find some info on this thing. Okay, I had a look at the circuit for this thing. There's 5 volts comes into this. So that yellow wire there is a horizontal sink. It goes to that 100 ohm resistor into the chip as we spotted before. Pin 1. Then it should be ground, which I think was the correct one we found for ground, which was the one next to the yellow. Then video, and then 5 volts. And I had a quick look at the circuit. and that power switch on this thing goes through the system control somewhere, then finally comes back, and somewhere, I guess, in all this other bits and pieces here, there is a 5-volt regulator. That might be the chip that runs all that. There was quite a large chip for controlling the power, so I don't think we'll mess around too much finding where any of that goes. Not really worth it to get the thing going. It might be something simple, but yeah, the two fuses in there are just, one's for battery and one is for external power source. So I might poke this through there, get that out, and I guess I can probably just cut that plug off. And we don't want the yellow wire. I think that's something to do with on-screen display or something. The others are all the same colour, which doesn't make life easy. Let's just snip it with a little bit of wire left on there in case we ever need it. Very unlikely. But if we hook up the power, we should be able to get this thing going with 5 volts into it. And then we can see about putting some composite video in there. But this power one, I just had a quick look, goes through a plated through hole and into this 47 mic 16 volt cap, so that's a good sign that it is the power line onto the positive of that cap. So that's our positive. Hopefully that's our negative. Oh, the power supply is flicking a bit, but oh, there's a bit of current draw. Is that going to warm up? Not looking promising. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, there we are. I can see as I'm moving it around, something's flicking. Don't know if that's something to do with the video, was touching on something. Oh yeah, if I touch the video on the ground maybe. Yeah, there's some flashes going on there. So the tube's running, just doesn't have any video, so it's rather dark. Well, we've got something going on there. Oops. But we've got no ground on yet. Yeah. Well, my new JK lead doesn't grip that well. Huh. A lot of rolling and stuff in the picture. Let's hook that to ground. Put that back into the video. And I think we've got something stable there. Yeah. We've got some bars. I can even see the fault in my pattern generator playing up again there. Some dots. Oh yeah, there's a little crosshatch pattern. Not sure you guys can see it. I'll move the camera down a bit. Yeah, it's a bit hard to get an image. Oh, there's the checkerboard. Crosshatch. Dots. Raster. And bars. Looks to be pretty focused. Probably the best way to get the focus is to set it with the lens on there, but I can see very fine little details. But that's another one of the world's smallest little CRTs going. I think I'll turf the rest of the camera. It's not really worth messing around with. At least we've got another good little viewfinder with a good little CRT in it. No idea what I'm going to do with it, but now I've got 2 of them. I guess I could make some sort of headset, virtual reality headset in monochrome. Don't think anyone's going to bother with that anymore, but that is how they did the early ones. Just a couple of things like this, obviously with the eyepiece and lens, so you can actually see it properly. Oh, well, might as well dismantle the rest of this camera. Just wondering where all the capacitors are, but of course they're on the other side of this board. Whether one of those has leaked or something and eaten through a track, or who knows, but it definitely didn't seem to be turned on that 5 volts. Maybe there's some other reason, but either way, this really has no value. The door's broken. I've got my bit out of it. Oh man, that doesn't want to come out. Another one there. Oh, that's just our buttons on the back. Or was. Now, how's this board held in? I see some sort of clip there. Something clipped there. Is that it? Oh, it looks like the whole mech's coming out with it. Must be a screw or something here somewhere. Maybe we'll take the whole CCD and everything out. That's your CCD bit. Again, there's no obvious way of doing this. I guess I did find the menu online, so I guess I should have had a look. There's something here somewhere. So we can pivot it. We've got a connector. It's that connector, I think, that's doing it. Is that, or something related to it. And we've got a mech trying to lift up. I wonder if maybe we've got to undo some other stuff here, who knows. We're saving all the little screws out of it though. If I do spot one, I might as well have it. But I don't think this bit of the housing comes off or anything. Oh, there we go. Again, just a matter of pushing it the right way, I think. Yeah, that bit, oh I see, there's a metal bit there maybe. Is that actually screwed onto this? Oh, you can't get that out of the way. I think you've got to undo that screw. Yeah, that's it, it's loosening the board up. And we've got an infrared sensor there. Now we're starting to get somewhere, just this other clip probably. But we've got to flick that connector out. I mean, they've got a pretty cool little mechanism in these. Now we're getting somewhere. And these just pull out ones. Well, it looks like new almost. It's nice and clean. No obvious leak caps, corrosion, anything like that. There's a little bit of flux down around there. I think it's just a bit of flux. Don't think it's anything bad. So yeah, why that wouldn't turn on, unless there's something I missed, but they should at least turn on and usually give you an AV output and a viewfinder. Shouldn't be any reason the viewfinder doesn't come on. Cool little capstan motor there. I forgot to look in the manual to see if it had a date of when these were made. That's probably a perfectly good mech. Almost a full-size mode switch there. Looks like a Hitachi, one of their normal video mode switches pretty much. Maybe it even is. Tiny little drum. So those heads would have been worth a bit once, but I don't think people generally use video cameras enough to wear the heads out in them. Tiny little pinch roller. All of it looks really good. I mean, I might keep that just as a cool little mechanism. Mini VHS kind of thing. And this is all screwed on with this white plastic frame by the look of it. Try to see another screw, there it is. I don't think there's anything really useful in the rest of this. I've got a microphone in the front. It's not a stereo microphone though, but I guess it probably wasn't a stereo camera. There we have one beaten up, a little electric microphone, I guess. How do you get into this thing? Lots of clips are messing around probably, so we'll toss that. Don't want the case for anything. Instant zoom digital signal processor. What is this thing? Oh, is it the rangefinder? Yeah, it would have been a rangefinder originally. That's what that infrared bit on the board was. I was going to say it's an odd spot for I think that board went like that. Though, what puts, hang on. Did we have light going in there? And was there another bit to put light into this thing? I reckon there is somewhere. Oh, that went that way. I don't see it though. I think a rangefinder normally should have an infrared light source, and then a receiver. That looks like the receiver part. It's only got 3 pins on it, I think. I'm assuming that board was in contact. Well, that went into that bit, so where'd the other bit go? That would have been further that way. Now I can't get it back in there. There we go. Oh, there is I can just see it. My God, that is small. Yeah, little tiny thing right there. It's a, is it a 2-pin, 4-pin? I think that's your infrared light source. And that's just your standard remote receiver by the look of it. Yeah, it's so transparent. Barely see it. D1104 possibly right there. Got a few little crystal oscillators. I guess I could measure these caps, but I don't think there's much point worrying about it. That's a bit of e-waste. That can go in the rubbish. And is any of this worth saving? That's your CCD. I reckon those 2 rows of pin there, which go right into the middle of this thing. I guess we could have a look at it. If we take the lens off, I'm not quite sure how this thing comes apart, but should be able to get this frame out of the way, and then I assume the lens will come off the board, and we should be able to see our charge couple device. Another couple of screws there. Let's get that plastic gone. And a few more, I'm not sure. Yeah, 2 must hold that, and I think these ones should release the lens, the black ones hopefully. But we'll see. Man, those screws stick to that screwdriver. Oh, there we go, a little bit there. So there it is. That's your image sensor, tiny little thing. What is that? Oh, there it is. Might zoom in a bit closer on that. Probably a bit of gold in there for scrappers, but could be some other metal. Not sure what that is. Can we see anything? I think the shutter is closed. That little motor there is probably a shutter opener. Yeah, a layer of blue and 2 bits of clear. Whether it feels a bit more like plastic than glass, but it could be glass. You'd hope it would be. But they can make some pretty good quality plastics as well. Oh, there's 2. I guess one's iris and one's shutter or whatever. And that's the CCD. Hopefully a bit clearer. I can't really zoom in any more on it with this camera. Or this lens on this camera anyway. But that's the little board it's on. And that's a little CCD device. You can probably see it making a bit of a rainbow effect there on the light, because it's such a fine pitch. Not sure where it's going to come out at. But that's what that looks like a bit closer up. Unfortunately not much good for anything. Well, not anything that I'm going to mess around with. But yeah, very high-tech bit of gear once, and still pretty similar to what's in a camera these days. Of course, a lot more pixels or light sensing points anyway. In your modern stuff, much more high res, but this was where they came from basically, so not completely obsolete technology, even though a video camera is largely obsolete now. And we'll have a quick look at the mech as well. That's the mechanism. That's got some interesting shiny bits on it as well. All that machined aluminium, as well as a bit of just stamped aluminium. But that's the mech in the thing. Nice little precision mechanism there. Certainly very advanced in the 80s when they had, so they started putting these things out. What's it got on there? 09, 03 or something. Who knows what that is? So it's got a 973. But that's the unit. Can't get the heads to spin. Where's the little head? Oh, there it is, right in the top of it. Well, that's probably starting to go out of focus, even lifting it up that much. But that's the unit, little tiny pinch roller just there. About the size of a small audio cassette, that one. A couple of little reels in there, which are very similar size to a cassette player, as in audio cassette player. And not much else of much interest in there. They got them pretty simple at this point. Some of these I think had like multiple layers of chassis like the early ones. I guess it sort of does on the other side. There's just a couple of bits of plastic now more than anything. A bunch of gears underneath. A bit of a plastic layer. But it's not too bad. Some video camera mechs were pretty complicated and no fun at all to work on. But anyway, I'll keep that as a little, just a little novelty thing. Much like the CRT really is a bit of a novelty thing. But at least you can sort of light that up and do something with it. I guess if you really wanted to, you could hook some power up to this mode switch and run this through its modes. I guess that could almost be a bit of fun, just winding it into play mode and back. Make a good little demo thing at in a museum or something. I guess they probably should have some things like this these days. And you could just have something run it to lace up and unlace occasionally, something like that. Maybe a button for someone to press would be a kind of cool interactive display. And yeah, someone presses it and it laces up. I guess you could even, you know, replace these servo motors possibly with just a normal DC motor or something. You get the head spinning. Sure, there'll be a way of doing it. You could almost put a tooth wheel on this thing and another, like a little CD player motor or something meshed into it, just to spin the heads up and make it look like it's running. Certainly with the tape in there, you could have the tape come up around, or you'd really want something transparent maybe, but it'd be cool if a bit of tape came up around the heads and the heads spun up. Not something I think I'm going to tackle though. It's maybe one day if I get really bored and I've got plenty of time when I retire or something, it'd be a cool little thing to make just as a little demo piece, I guess. Probably easier just to have a camera with a cover off it and the mech out, and just have it so you can actually control it through the camera electronics. That way you could have the actual drum running and stuff if you had a working camera. But anyway, that's the end of this one, so thanks for watching.